Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night. The most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that starts brand new. Girl, I'm so amazed at all the things you do. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. My sunshine, baby, don't you go away. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. I hear music in your words and in the way you call my name. When you're by my side, I can't do anything. You're my best friend, you're my lover. Without you, no one else would do. Through thick and thin, I know we'll make it true. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. Yeah, you are my sunshine, baby. Don't you go away. Yeah, I want me, all over me, already alive. See, I will love you forever. Yeah, I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. My baby, you are my sunshine, my love and my essence. There's no one like you. My baby, you are my sunshine, my love and my essence. There's no one like you. You are me, all over me, already alive. Say I will love you forever. Oh, me, all over me, already alive. Say I will love you forever. My sugar, my honey, my lover, I will love you forever. My baby, my lover, and my best friend, I will love you forever. I place no woman above you. I will love you forever. I promise to always love you, baby. I will love you forever. And there's no one other comes close. I will love you forevermore. And ever and ever and evermore. I will love you forever. Cause you are my baby, my sunshine. I will love you forever. And when there's nothing more to say, I will love you forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. I will love you forever. Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night. The most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that starts brand new. Girl, I'm so amazed at all the things you do. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. Sunshine, baby, don't you go away. I want me, all over me, already alive. my baby. You are my sunshine, my lover, my essence. There's no one like you. My baby, you are my sunshine, my lover, my essence. There's no one like you. You are me, all over me, already alive. Say I will love you forever. All me, all over me, already alive. Say I will love you forever. My sugar, my honey, my lover, I will love you forever. My baby, my lover, and my best friend, I will love you forever. I place no woman above you. I will love you forever. I promise to always love you, baby. I will love you forever. And there's no one other comes close. I will love you forevermore. And ever and ever and evermore. I will love you forever. Cause you are my baby, my sunshine. I will love you forever. And when there's nothing more to say, I will love you forever.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining tonight. We'll be starting right away while others join. Kindly confirm that you can hear me. Can you drop a message in the chat box if you can hear me, please? Can you drop a message in the chat if you can hear me? Can you hear me, please? Kindly, all right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so we'll be starting right away. We started discussing predisposition last week, and that basically focusing on the difference between male and female. Difference between male and female. And I emphasized last week that if there is one thing that is causing a tsunami of or avalanche of separation and divorce, is inability to understand ourselves. You know, I have had cause to speak to quite a number of people who want to get married, and I realized that when I tell them to do something, I realize that most of the time it doesn't seem to interest them to want to do. And of course, because they are adults, I really don't meddle in whatever it is they want to do. But I think about three of them last year, and I will tell them what I think they should do. But for one reason or the other, it doesn't appear they're favorably disposed in that direction to be able to do some of those things that will make them to know themselves. I don't know why, but I'm saying that to say that it seems as if the things that should be very important to us when we are trying to get married, those things that are very important to us are not the thing that should be very important. The thing that should be very important should be what we need to do to sustain the relationship, having a good understanding of ourselves. For example, I talked about what someone, an expert, suggested is called user's manual, that you both of you should develop user's manual. And the reason is because it helps you to be able to know yourself, understand yourself, and be able to know how to manage yourself, because there will be turbulence ahead, either you like it or not. There will be challenges ahead, either we like it or not. There will be issues ahead, and we don't know where those issues will come from. But if the parties that are getting married have a good understanding of this and put a good foundation in place to be able to manage this, like Christ said, when the storm comes, because the foundation is solid, the house remains. So today we are looking at the anatomy of relationship and marriage, part 26, disposition, part 2. Disposition, part 2. Youth of this generation are faced with the great challenge of choosing life partners. Many have followed practices and not principles. And these are led to the situation in which many people have are separating and divorcing, and there's a high rate of divorce in the land, including paternity fraud. So the goal of this program is to help everyone that will be listening today and in future to be able to get it right in this critical area of their lives. You will hear some uncommon ideas about marriage in this series. Please note that they are based on research, they are based on principles, they are based on scriptures, they are even in some cases based on statistics and science. Listen with an open mind and also go back to check some of the thoughts that have been shared in order to see if those things were so sorry for the break in transmission. I have an issue with my network. Can you hear me, please? Please confirm you can hear me. Drop a message in the chat if you can hear me, please. Can you hear me, please? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Okay. So what does men and women like to talk about? Remember, we're discussing differences between men and women, and that this is very important for us to be able to have a very good relationship and good marriage. Last week, I talked about the fact that if as a man, you don't like talking, you don't like gisting, then don't get married. There are some things that if you cannot do, don't bother putting people in a situation in which they regret ever marrying you as a man or woman. So if you are not going to be able to gist, don't marry. A woman in a relationship wants to talk about family. He wants to talk about relationship. He wants to talk about children, pressures, concerns. He wants to talk about problem, affairs, failure, challenges, weakness, shortcoming, doubt, the future of the home, and security. A man in a relationship wants to talk more about job, about politics, about business, about work, about achievement, about plan, about hobbies, about success, about finance. When you see the major difference between what men and women like to talk about, you will now see there is a need for major adjustment. Each time I hear about some of the things happening in our society today, I tell people, if we can have a good understanding of ourselves sincerely, no wonder the scripture says, dwell with them with knowledge. We are such a different being from each other. We are such a different being from each other. So women want to talk about problem more, while men want to talk about problem less. Please note that these differences are general differences. However, some people might not manifest all of this because they have been able to train themselves and even change over time. So that means that we can have an overlap for man and woman. Because women are interwoven, remember the picture we showed last week? Look at the picture. These women. Remember, women are interwoven. You need to discover her. You need to unravel her. That means there must be some effort on your part as a man to bring her out. And that effort to a woman is interpreted as trust. Is interpreted as trust. This nature of women make her to be very troubled when you tell her she's not fine, she's not beautiful, or she's too fat, or she's ugly, because it affects her entire being. It's like she's being violated or even raped. That is why I concluded that the temperature of your home can be regulated by your mouth. If the home is going to be cool, a cool and great place to live in, it will be through your mouth. If it's going to be very hot to live in, it is through your mouth. It's going to be very cold to live in, it is through your mouth. And through your mouth, I mean the mouth of the man. This is why the best thing you can do for a lady is to give her compliment, because it helps her to build self-esteem. You must learn to give her compliment. Now, look at this. An average brother, born again, spirit-filled brother, he's not been trained to give compliment. In fact, he's been trained to avoid women, to stay away from women so that she will not fornicate. He's probably getting close to a woman for the first time when he gets married. This is why he needs to be taught this. That means he's not used to giving them compliments. The playboys on campus know how to do this very well. That's why they could get many women into their fold and they could deceive them. Because the women like to be around them, because they say the things that the women like to hear. So, because they are able to say what the women want to hear, the women want to be around them. Even though some of them deceive the women, but the women still want to be around them. So, you are a spirit cocoa brother. You are getting married. Be it known to you that you must learn how to give compliment to your wife. You must learn it. Even if she cook a meal that is not so good, don't condemn the food. Find a way to manage it. Then find a convenient time to show her the way you want her to do it. If you can do it, then demonstrate. If you can't do it, then show her video to help her. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. Because the way you say it is so important. Remember, you see the yellow, blue, green, red, yellow, body, mind, soul, spirit. For the man, it's separated. For the woman, it's enwrapped. So if you say something about her body, it will affect her mind. It will affect her emotion. It will affect her being. It will affect everything about her. Because she's wrapped together. One thing that affects one thing affects all. Unlike the man, if something affects one part of his life, it doesn't affect all other parts. But for the woman, if it affects one part, it affects all. So as a brother, bro, learn to give compliments. Bro, learn to give compliments. You must learn it. And you can start during courtship. So you can get used to it. So it can become part and parcel of you. Learn to give compliments. It's about to build our self-esteem. This is why women should be protected, and raping any female gender, either young or old, is evil because it destroys her being. So any kind of abuse, violence, rebuke, ignoring, shouting, spiteful, or oppression of a lady, destroy her entire being. Destroy her whole being. That is why this kind of act make them to cry. You are talking down on her, or you are physically or verbally or emotionally abusing her, being violent with her, shouting on her, rebuking her, ignoring her, destroy her being. It can make her cry. No wonder God said we should love her and treat her as a weaker vessel. But many women have been badly damaged by their father. Some have been damaged by their brother. Some have been damaged by their husband. That is why, as a husband, telling your wife regularly, compliment like, I love you, you look beautiful, you are intelligent, you are the best, you are a gift, you are smart. You see those words? You don't have an idea of how it's helping your wife to build our self-esteem. You don't have an idea of how it's helping your wife to build her self-esteem. Women need all the support. They need all your support at all times for her to be stable and be able to be her best at all times, and to be able to also give you her best. All these account for the reason why Jesus treated women the way he treated them. Do you notice that Jesus treated women very differently? Go and check the way he treated the Samaritan woman. Look at the way she talked to her, the way she respected them, the way she's gentle with them. The woman with the issue of blood, look at the way she treated her. The woman that was bent over, eventually got healed, look at the way she treated her. The woman with the alabaster box of ointment, look at the way she treated her. The women that were the first to meet her after resurrection, look at the way she treated them. That is why a man should be comfortable first before marrying a woman, so as to be able to give the best to the wife. That's why a man should be comfortable first. He should be able to take care of herself first before she thinks of getting married, so as to be able to give her wife the best. To be able to give her wife the best. To be able to give her wife the best. If a man tells a woman, let's go to a restaurant, for a man, he's thinking of going to eat and drink and probably come back to sleep with her. But for a woman, do you know what she's thinking of? What to wear. The woman is thinking of what to wear. The man is not thinking of what to wear. You know, sometimes if you are married, your wife, if you have a sister that is a lady, sometimes she will look at the wardrobe and she might say, I don't even know what to wear. I don't even know what to wear. Then you'll be asking, you mean out of all these things in your out of all these things in your on the what's the name? In your wardrobe, you don't know what to wear? See? You see? You don't know what to wear. But the lady is thinking of what to wear. He's thinking of what to wear. You are thinking of, oh yeah, let's go and eat. You know, when I first got married, I tell my wife, let's go out. If I'm going out, and let's say we want to go by 9, if it's not ready by 9, I'll be complaining. Why are you making us be late? What are you doing? The day I realized my foolishness, I pity myself. So now, if I want us to go out by 10, I'll tell her by 9. In my mind, I know we can still make it by 10, but I'll tell her 9. Because I know we will not be ready by 9. We'll be ready maybe 9:30, sometimes even to 10 to go. So if you understand them, you can deal with them with knowledge. You can be able to manage the situation. Look, one of the major issues causing divorce is because there is a misuse of the female gender by the man. The man does not know how to use her, how to manage her, how to maximize her. So they are exchanging words, they are arguing, they are, I mean, he doesn't even know when the lady is communicating without communicating. And of course, lady has also been enjoying that. Sometimes you just expect the man to assume he should know what he has done wrong, and you'll be sulking and not talking, and then you expect the guy to know. And indeed, if the guy is observant, he should know, but he will not. Since I learned this thing, the misunderstanding between me and my wife has gone to almost 0%. I say near zero, sincerely. But before, we have misunderstanding. Of course, we're able to resolve it. But now, I rather those misunderstandings just me not understanding how to manage her. How to manage her. Understand the way they reason, the way they think, and be able to ensure you manage the female gender effectively. ladies and gentlemen, having a good understanding out of all that we'll be talking about since society series. You see, this last part, in my opinion, is the most important. That even if you did not get all the part 1 to 23 or 24 that we did, you see this remaining about 6-7 episodes. I think it's more important. And by the way, after this episode, our focus will be on money, like we discussed during the retreat in December. We'll focus on money and leadership, but we'll do money first. I'm already working on the series. So we'll be spending like maybe another 2 months, sometimes from late February. This session will take us till sometimes late February. So sometime from late February to March, we begin to talk about money. Money matter. I will probably spend a quarter discussing different issues around money. But before then, coming back to what we're talking about, look, you want to have a peaceful home? You want to have a peaceful home? Do you want to have a peaceful home? Dwell with your wife with knowledge. Have a good understanding of the way they think. So many men don't know that women go through all that women go through when you tell them, let's go out. When a woman go through this and talk to the husband about it, they will be thinking that she's trying to manipulate them. Most men think that women don't have any problem. All they know is to be dressing, doing their makeup, putting on whatever it is you want to put on. That's all women know. The reason why a lot of women try to look good, listen to this, why they take a lot of time to dress up, put a lot of facade, pancake and everything, is to enable them feel good. Forget about their troubles and issues and challenges that are on their mind, that is affecting their being. They want to feel good. They want to feel good. And you can help them by also adding sweet words, comforting words, even when they've done something that is not too nice. Remember, I hope you know you're not marrying I hope you know you're not marrying what I'm looking for the word to use now. You are marrying a lady who is human, who has his flaws, who could make mistakes. You are marrying a man who is human, who has his flaws, who could make mistakes, who has our flaws, who could make mistakes. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. When men use scriptures like, you know, when a man in the house is using scripture to manipulate the wife, submit. The scripture says you must submit. That man has lost the home. The scripture says you must submit. Submit. The scripture says, wife, submit to your husband. And you are using scripture to manipulate and oppress your wife. It can lead to the undoing of that family. It is important to know that we are both expected to submit to each other, not just a wife. The husband also in another scripture says the husband should submit. So you should submit to both to each other. Don't use scripture to manipulate your wife. Don't use scripture to manipulate your wife. It says submitting yourself one to another in the fear of God. Some people don't see that one in their Bible. Some people don't see that one in their Bible. Submitting yourself to one another in the fear of God. Submitting yourself to one another in the fear of God. To one another. To one another. Both of you have to submit yourself. Now, do you know what I discover? When a woman does not submit, it's not secure. It's not secure. It's not secure. Do you know why she's not secure? There's no love. There's no love. The Bible says, perfect love casts out fear. If you love your wife, she will naturally submit. Remember, love is a commitment. Love is not affection, no. Love is a commitment. If you want to know the definition of love, go to 1 Corinthians 13. Forget about all this. I love you, I love you, I love you. Go to 1 Corinthians 13. You will see the real definition of love. If you go to 1 Corinthians 13, so when I'm saying husband love your wife, I'm looking at the 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love. I'm looking at the 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love. Do you know the 1 Corinthians 13 kind of love? Love is patient. Ha ha. Love is kind. Love is not jealous. Love does not brag. Love is not proud. Love is not rude. Love is not selfish. Love cannot be easily made angry. Let me talk a little bit about anger. Anger is a word short of danger. Anger is a word short of danger. If you slap your wife, you did not slap because you did not slap because she make you angry. You slap because you are a slapper. If you slap your wife, you did not slap because she make you angry. You slap because you are a slapper. It's only what you can do that you can do. When you step on cockroach, blood does not come out. Fluid come out, but red blood does not come out. When you kill a mosquito that has bitten human being, blood come out because there is blood inside. Whatever come out of you when you are put under pressure is who you are and what you have inside. In fact, that you became angry and slapped your wife is a sign that you need to go back and check. If you say you're a Christian, go and check very well. That's a sign that you really were never, probably did not have a relationship with God. Because that means that your hand. You see that hand? You have not yielded as an instrument of righteousness to God. You are yielding as an instrument of unrighteousness to sin. That's what it is. So that means something is wrong with you, brother. Look, me have accepted that ignorance is a gift. It keeps everybody humble to learn. You cannot don't give excuse. You are angry, you shout, you snap at your wife, you slap. Whatever you do is what you can do. Whatever you can do is what you can do. Don't say he made me do it. Don't say he made me angry. He did not make you angry. You are an angry man. Love is not easily angered. Can't be easily angry. Love does not remember wrongdoing. It doesn't remember wrongdoing against it. Love is never happy when others are wrong. It's always happy with the truth. Love never give up. It never stops trusting. Love never loses hope. Love never quits. Oh my God. Oh my God. Love never fails. Love never fails. Love never fails. Brother, sister, love never fails. Love never fails. Love never fails. If you love, no matter what the challenge is, if there is love, you can fix it. So when I say, the Bible says perfect love cast out fear. So you see this perfect love in 1 Corinthians 13, it will cast out fear in your wife. When your wife is not living in fear, there is a sense of security. If your wife feels secure in that space, is not threatened, she will submit. You don't need to tell her. She will submit. You don't need to tell her. Perfect love cast out fear. Perfect love cast out fear. When you love her the way you should, as the man, she will submit. If a woman is not submitting, she has a sense of insecurity. It's insecure. And it's because you are not loving, or she doesn't trust you. She doesn't trust you. You guys are not playing to yourself. You're not playing to yourself. You're not playing to yourself. So don't tell me you are angry. Love does not get angry easily. No matter what the wife do or the man do to you, what you are doing, do you know that you are not a thief because you stole? You stole because you are a thief. You are not a thief because you stole.
You stole because you're a thief. You did not beat your wife because you are angry. You were angry because anger is in you. You are not a thief because you stole. You stole because you are a thief. You beat your wife because anger is in you. Not because you are angry, because anger is in you. Such that if you never have the misfortune to have opportunity to steal, it doesn't make you less a thief if you are a thief. You've never had the misfortune of get angered by your wife. It doesn't make you less an angry man, even if you never get angry, but it's inside. Only that the day pressure comes, it will squeeze you and bring it out. Brother, what you can do, what you do is what you can do. Nobody made you to do it. It is because it's inside. Someone else in the same situation will never slap the wife or beat the wife. Will never. Why? Because what it takes to fight, what it takes to slap is not inside. This is the whole essence of being a Christian. This is the whole lessons, because one of the fruit of the Spirit is self-control. 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 If you're not able to control yourself, that fruit is deficient in your life. Self-control, that's one of the fruit of the Spirit. Self-control. If you're not able to control yourself, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. The reason why women must be allowed to express themselves is because when she is silent and suppressed, the thing she's keeping inside will affect our body. It will affect our cells, our tissues, our organs. This can consequently lead to disease like cancer to develop in our body and die prematurely. So we need a lot more men conferences in our world to educate men more than all the women conference we have. We have so many women conference. We don't have men conference. In many churches, you have women fellowship, women for a program, women seminar, women this. You really have men's fellowship, men program, men's conference. Very few churches think about the men. The men go through a lot and they need help, but nobody's helping them. Brothers and sisters, because peace at home is what creates peace at work and peace in ministry. If you are going to be able to grow your career, fulfill your calling in life, a good understanding of the difference between men and women, which make you to be able to manage each other very well, is the way to go. 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 So what we've been discussing is how marriage is meant to work. This truth we are discussing, if you go against it, it's going to make your marriage a nightmare and even collapse. Women would like to look you in the eye in order to read you better, because she does not just hear, she also feels you in her being. When you're talking, she wants to see your eyes. She wants to see your face. She wants to see your eye. But on the other hand, men want to multitask. While they are discussing, man wants to be on the phone. He wants to be typing. He wants to be doing some other things. When a man looks in your eye, he wants to confront you and fight you. What is the motive of talking for both gender? A woman is talking as a way to get you to her side. So a woman speaks for solidarity. So you understand how she's feeling. So you can identify with her. So it is wise for men to play along even if they are not interested in the conversation. Men's motive for talking is to establish his status. So you will notice his achievement. So you will notice his success. This is because men's greatest desire is to be honored. Women's greatest desire is to be loved.
So in talking, both men and women are pursuing their agenda. Man line of thought rather, is decision to conversation. Men line of thought is decision, but women line of thought is decision to conversation, but women line of thought is conversation to decision. The man has decided, he's talking about it. The woman is talking about it to decide. This is in line with the picture we saw the other time, last week, of the woman on the phone. Let me show you. Of the woman on the phone. Can you see? On the phone, when both of them are on the phone. Men talk less in private and more in public to earn respect. So they talk less at home because there's nobody to impress at home. But women, on the other hand, talk less in public and more in private. When a man does not give his wife attention, the woman will not be able to trust. Sometimes women do trouble talking to draw attention. So as a man, do not get mad at your woman. Just understand that when they go hysterical, all they are seeking is your attention to have a serious conversation on issue bothering them. If you are going to be able to grow your career and fulfill your calling in life, a good understanding of the difference between men and women is the way to go. How does a man like to be treated when he's down? He needs a solution to the challenge. But the lady will like to be pitied, pet, hug. The husband, no. But that is not his need, what he needs. Now, look at this. The man might not talk to you at this time because he does not believe you have the answer. Don't pity him because you will make him feel helpless at that time and it can irritate him. That is why I want to be alone. But when a woman is down, you want to be hugged, cuddled, pitied by the husband. But the husband is often too logical and too pragmatic, looking for a solution. Before you talk about the solution, pet her first. When a lady is feeling bad, don't rush to give a solution. Even if you have a solution, first identify with the pain by showing some affection. Maybe you can hug her or kiss her or speak some word to comfort her before offering the solution. That is why a woman wants to be with someone that is caring for her. Men's greatest desire daily is to be respected. Therefore, talk to display the reason why he should be respected. Women's greatest desire is to be loved. So they display this in order to demand for that love and care. Try to show at least 3 to 5 signs of care and love to your wife on a daily basis. It can be through touching, eye contact, a gift, a hug, a kiss, or sex, or call, or talk, like I love you. Before we close this evening, remember, for there to be peace in your home, it is in the hand of the man. Your mouth regulate the temperature of your home. Your mouth. It can increase the temperature. It can make it very cold. It can cool, make it cool. Peace at home is what creates peace at work and in ministry. If you are going to be able to grow your career and fulfill your calling in life, a good understanding of the differences between men and women. And making you to be able to manage each other very well is the way to go. 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 Let me listen to you before we close today. All right. Chidi, good evening. How are you? What have you learned tonight?
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening. Yeah, so it's been interesting. I mean, for some reasons I've not been so, critical about learning about relationship, at least not from this perspective, really, in terms of trying to understand some of the critical differences between male and female species, right? But I think I don't know. When you were speaking, I was just thinking about um how consistent these key principles you mentioned in terms of not really, not the principles really, the differences you talk about. Are they particular to like a particular I don't know, geographical area, or I mean basically saying that ladies here in Nigeria, right, do they meet these characteristics same with women from other part of the world? This universal? Because I was just thinking about some of the preferences and some of the things you highlighted, some of the examples you highlighted, although I can't remember anyone specifically. But I want to know, I mean, some of the things, for example, like the for some guys like watching match, most my guys like watching matches. And recently it's been a trend that a lot of women like watching matches. And before it was a guy
So let
thing,
me
right?
tell you,
So,
now, sorry to cut you. I made a statement on that. If you notice, I actually made a statement on what you said right now, and you have just confirmed exactly what I said. I talk about the fact that even though some things are peculiar to man, some to woman, but some women and some men, as a result of changes around them, as a result of issues around them, have changed over time. I said, please note that these differences are general differences. However, some people might not manifest all of this as a man or woman because they have been trained or changed over time. Some women had to learn about football because they realize that's one of the ways to keep their man, to be able to be in the company so that the man will not go out to watch football. They can gist about it. So different things is influencing that decision.
yeah, I understand.
You
Thank
understand?
you. And
So, but generally, men love football, women do not. But nowadays, like you said, because the society is changing, so you see that trend happening. So it's very possible.
yeah, like someone like me, I really like football.
Is
Yeah.
that?
So I felt like I don't really like football. Like I don't
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
idea. Right. So another question that I wanted to ask, right, is in terms of building relationships with the opposite gender, right? Um how much of this should you factor into your preferences? Like before, like I mean, as a guy, there are different ladies that are on your in quotes windscreen that you can that you possibly might be interested in, right? But they are in trying to make reasonable choices, right? To what degree should we factor in these preferences that we discussed today, these dispositions?
No, this disposition is to be able to manage yourself after you're married. These are general, it's already a characteristics in the lady. It doesn't matter who will marry. These are the way they are built generally, even though, like I said, there could be overlap here and there. So this is not the basis for choosing. This is the basis for managing after choosing, because whoever you choose, it will manifest this.
Okay, makes sense.
So it's to be able to
Yeah.
manage after you have chosen, know that this is what you are going into, that you need to compliment her regularly. That's her nature. She appreciates it. It builds her self-esteem. So if you are not the type that have been able to learn that because your religious mind has not allowed you to be able to have that kind of conversation or relationship, then you have to learn it now that you are married. So, but it's not a basis for choosing because they are not back traits, as it were, only that they are the characteristics of a woman that will help to be able to keep that relationship.
Yeah, also I don't know, sorry if I'm taking too much time.
Go
Then
ahead.
in this issue of compliment, like I don't know, like in the last 2 years, maybe because of the kind of friends I move with, I've been so true in terms of giving compliment. Like
You have been so
at some
what?
point, like I got so used to giving like compliments to ladies, like
Okay.
I got so used to it that even when I'm not supposed to, I find myself doing that, right?
Wait,
So
why do you
and
say, hold on. Why do you say you're not supposed to?
well, I mean, like when I try to analyze the kind of environment I'm in, right? I believe that there are some ways I should not respond. Do you get? For example, if I'm in a church setting, normally, let's say I'm in the department, I can say, "Hey, what's up, beautiful?" Or like any random compliment. But if I'm in the church setting, I believe
So
in quotes.
if in the church, if you are in a setting where the person you are talking to might not receive it the way it should be received, then you shouldn't. But if you're in a church setting, if the person will understand, then I don't see anything wrong in it. But if you know, look, this person, even though you don't mind saying it, but he might not, then of course you shouldn't offend people.
Yeah, the reason I actually mention it is because I'm looking at, okay, in marriage actually, could it be a cause for offense? I mean, so I mean, something that could be I don't know, I'm just speaking
A
because I have
cause
zero
for offense,
experience.
how?
Like you're
If
getting
your
your wife
wife,
angry because you're giving
yes,
compliments
it's
over
possible.
ladies.
It's very possible. If you just make her hair and you don't compliment it, you might be in trouble.
No, I'm looking at getting her angry because I'm giving compliments to other ladies.
Oh
Yeah.
no, this is my recommendation. If you are married, why don't you give everything to your wife? Why are you giving it to someone else?
No, that doesn't mean you don't compare your wife, but I mean you're out there and someone maybe like your colleague in the
If
office.
she doesn't like it, then avoid it. That's also love.
Okay.
Yes, if he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. You don't have anything to lose if you don't do it now. So why do you want to do what he doesn't like? Some
All right,
ladies
so
don't mind. Some ladies don't mind, but some might
okay.
not mind because of their understanding. This is about understanding. If a lady know that this is something good for guys to do regularly, and it doesn't give any interpretation to it, then it's okay. But if she has not developed her mind to the level that she's giving interpretation, then you don't want to offend her. So you stop it.
It's all right. No problem, sir. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
sir.
All right. Favor Atasie. How are you? Good evening. Hello, Favor.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Thanks for tonight's session. I'm fine, thank you, sir. Okay, for me, what I've really learned, like, is based on what you said, affection and love. Like, love is way beyond just having feelings
Love
and
is love
saying,
is
I like this person.
commitment.
Like, exactly, it's a commitment, and it involves more of like action taking and
Yes.
less of all this emotional stuff. So
Yes.
for me, that really stood out. Like, making things work out, like deliberate, being intentional about making things work out, really stood out for me. So that's what I just picked out from today's session, because like I really joined kind of late and my network was somehow. So thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you. Chinedu, good evening. Chinedu, are you there? Good evening. I think there's an issue with your mic. I can't hear you. Hello, Godwin. Good evening.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for today's session. I was really blessed. I learned a lot. The angle I will want to highlight more is on the issue of anger management.
Yes.
A man should be very careful,
Yes.
not to allow the day-to-day issues at work, the road, to affect the beautiful discussion at home.
Yes.
That's why I conducted an experiment. I said, okay, let me comparing the days I normally drive without music and the days I drive, playing music. in my
Okay.
vehicle, I discovered that music is very powerful. And music is one of the ways you can moderate. Yeah, let me use that word, moderate your anger on the road, especially during traffic. Because all those things matter a lot. Yeah, because I discovered that I can remember one of the days I just conducted that experiment. We were on traffic more than 30 minutes. Nobody was even complaining. All of us were busy singing. I think I was playing Ashake that day.
Okay.
So everybody was busy. Nobody even remembered that there was traffic. So all those things matters a lot. As the man, you should learn how to control your anger.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be managed. It could be suppressed. Yeah, it could be suppressed. Okay. If you know that you will say something that will hurt someone, please be careful on how to say it. Let me just give an example. The popular artist that said something against Igbo people.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to mention the name.
Brimo.
It was trending. Yeah. But before you know what was happening, over 28,000 people were signing petition against him. He had to come back to his sense and apologized.
Yeah.
Probably he said that out of anger, and that anger, you see. So for us men, we should be very, very careful on how we deal with issues. Yeah, I know, hustling in Lagos has not been easy, but we should not. In fact, I normally tell my friends, whenever you're coming back to the house, just drop all the Lagos problem at the foot of your door and then come in and, have a relaxed conversation with not just your wife, with people around you. It matters a lot.
Yeah.
It really matters a lot. So I was really blessed today. Thank you very much.
Godwin, good evening. Hello, Godwin, are you there? Okay, Sheun, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, Godwin, yes, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
It was so reaching. What my own sir, I didn't the time I visit to so was following, so later I thank to some what we need tonight is that see that is what is in you. Anytime something happened that you didn't come out, you said that it's not that someone forced you to do it, so that is what you really have inside you, and you make purpose of you kill a cockroach. God will not come out. So it's what the has inside will come out, and also rebel. I mean also mosquito. So also made reverend that it's not what you call love, and it's really the true love. And love is commitment, and must be committed to the relationship. And said that the women like, like they say a woman want to go out to be, I just say what we now wear, and now find the whole cloth in the wardrobe. You see the man will surprise that you asking for anywhere and there. I like to know that it's good to be patient. I also try to understand them according to the Bible that say they are weak and best. Instead that we try to make sure that we have understanding of who really are we able to.
All right, thank you. Sheun.
Hello.
Yeah, Sheun, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much for the session. It was very experience. And as we are talking now, I was just laughing that yes, practically speaking, there are things that are very important in relationship one must learn as a husband to always tell the wife, I love you.
Mm.
7 times a day. One might get to church late, so it's very, very important.
Yeah.
And also, I also learned that a relationship, one must look at how to make the partner better,
Yes.
how one can improve on oneself, because the truth is that in marriage is a learning process.
Yeah. Yeah.
One has to, you can't understand your wife 100%.
Yeah.
So that we discover progress in one. Yes, even makes a woman happy in the home. One is making himself happy as well. So
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
it's actually, and sometimes women crave for attention, but
Mm.
sometimes men.
I can't hear you again. All right, I need to join another meeting now.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Yes. So I said women need that attention.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Very important.
Very, very important. But sometimes men, we have a lot of things on our head.
Yeah.
We want to get things done. We have this commitment, this thing, I need to do this. We have a lot of bills, different kind of things. How do I ensure this thing is achieved? So, but if one can try to strike the balance, it takes wisdom to strike the balance. So that one will not be shouting and then in the house. So I've actually learned a lot, and I really appreciate your efforts. It's a real mind-blowing session. If one can get some of these teachings before marriage, it will really go a long way.
Yeah.
To help one to avoid some unnecessary things.
Yeah.
You know. Yes. So thank you very much. I appreciate.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Have a wonderful week ahead. Oh, Atasi, I see your hand. Go ahead. You want to ask a question?
Yes, sir, please. You made a comment while you were teaching that you don't steal because, how do I put that? How do you say it? Oh, you steal because you are a thief. You don't.
Yes.
I don't. There's how you put it. Actually.
You said what?
I said there's how you phrase it. I've
You are
like I
not a
forgot it.
thief
I
because
have
you
a question
stole.
surrounding that.
You are not a thief because you stole. You stole because you are a thief.
Okay. So you were saying that sometimes like something that people exhibit is because that's who they are.
Yes.
Well, cite an example, like take for example a person that is not angry, but the person is maybe like an external influence is always like most like that the person has been going through that, just bearing it and bearing it. But one day, like once the person has been pushed to the one, the person flares up. Doesn't mean the person is an angry person. But like
Yes.
this person is like
Yes.
is usually very calm, not angry.
He's an angry person. If he's not angry, let me tell you, you won't even put it inside and boil it and became full in the first place. Anytime I say, let me say something to you. Yeah, Kuri. What did I say?
Sir?
Yeah, Kuri. What did I say?
Yeah, Kuri.
What did I say? What does that mean? Eh?
I have no idea.
Assuming I abuse you, will you feel anything?
Okay. Maybe pained or insulted.
Assuming I abuse you, that word, yakuri, is an outside word. Assuming I abuse you, will you feel anything? Hello?
Hello, sir.
I said, assuming that word is an abuse, but you don't understand it, will you feel anything?
No, I won't.
Because you can't interpret it. That tells you that anytime you're angry is because of the way you interpret what the person said. Yakuri means, I'm sorry. But if you interpret it as someone abusing you, then you'll be angry. But if you don't understand people that are abusing you, you are not angry. Why are you not angry? Because you cannot interpret it. So it's not what the person said that's making you angry, it's what you, the way you interpret it.
Okay, yeah, I
So
understand now.
if you have not interpreted badly, you won't bottle it up. Talk less of now busting afterwards. You shouldn't even bottle it up in the first place. You should change the way you interpret what the person has said. Someone said you're a bastard. You know you are not a bastard. You just pity him. That can you imagine saying what is not true? Maybe something is wrong with him. That's a way to interpret
exactly.
it. But you could have said, me, bastard. You want to yeah. That's a way to another way. Do you understand? So it's the way you interpret it. I'm telling you.
True.
That the way we interpret things is the way it affects us. So someone can abuse you, but you interpret it differently and it helps your psychology. So you will never get filled up with emotion and post.
Yeah, true. Very true. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you. See you next week and bye-bye.